Studies show that millennials are the most educated, diverse, and politically progressive generation in modern history. This group ranges from age 23 to 38 and are the second largest electorate in the U.S. after baby boomers. And now research is showing that they're dispelling the myth that young people don't show up to vote. This makes them a particularly important voting group to capture for 2020. Today, we'll discuss the millennial vote on the ballot box. Voter turnout among millennials nearly doubled from 2014 to 2018, according to Pew Research. And in the last midterm election, they cast more than 26 million votes. But millennials weren't alone. Other generations like Gen X and baby boomers also saw an increase in turnout during the same election. With more of them voting, let's talk about what they want out of politics. This generation is no stranger to monumental change and even struggle. They lived through 9/11, the financial crisis, and the digital revolution. Cost of housing and college tuition has risen during their lifetime, and since they entered the workforce, wages have overall remained stagnant. Just as the generations that came before them, the political issues they care about are influenced by their lived experience. These issues are environmental sustainability, gender and LGBTQ equality, gun reform, income inequality, reproductive rights, and affordable college tuition and housing. These are progressive policy positions, and millennials are indeed a progressive group. On both social and economic issues, studies show that millennials mostly poll left of center. They're most likely to identify as liberal than any other previous generation. So, how does this change the 2020 race? As the size of the group, its voter turnout, and its partisan makeup solidifies, candidates have to consider how to appeal to a new generation. If millennials continue showing up to vote, they are a large and important demographic that could sway an election. And from what we're seeing so far, many of the candidates are campaigning on similar issue positions as this generation. Elizabeth Warren, the highest polling candidate right now in national polls, courts millennials by proposing to diminish their crippling student debt and establish a universal health care system.
And we can cancel the student loan debt. For 95% of the folks who've got student loan debt, that means for the first time, we'd start to shrink the black-white wealth gap, and we could level the playing field.
Pete Buttigieg, a millennial himself, has advocated for raising wages and increasing access to affordable housing.
The minimum wage is just too low. And so-called conservative Christian senators right now in the Senate are blocking a bill to raise the minimum wage.
Bernie Sanders campaigns largely on addressing climate change and eliminating college tuition for public universities, something millennials support in large.
So how do you deal with executives who are in companies making billions of dollars a year in profit, and the product that they are producing, happens to be destroying the planet?
And Andrew Yang based the majority of his platform on universal basic income and adapting to a future where economic insecurity is a result of technological advances, a story millennials know well.
Americans around the country about automation, and they're smart. They see what's happening around them. Their Main Street stores are closing. They see a self-serve kiosk in every McDonald's, every grocery store, every CVS. Driving a truck is the most common job in 29 states, including this one. 3.5 million truck drivers in this country, and my friends in California are piloting self-driving trucks.
Millennials are coming into their own. As they become increasingly influential as professionals and as a political force, candidates seeking their vote will have to adjust their platforms to address their demands. For a generation that's been criticized for being coddled and politically apathetic, millennials are proving they have a distinct voice. And if 2018 is a sign of things to come, we can expect to see them use it when they show up to vote. Until next time, I'm Morgan Stevens, and this is The Ballot Box.